Hey, it's Todd Fox here from Halos in the Infield along with Bill from
Top Fan Rivalry.
Top Fan Rivalry. He's a Dodger fan, so he's wearing that blue. I'm wearing the old school Angels.
Yep.
We're going to recap a little bit or give you guys our thoughts about the Angels and Dodgers, where going into it, the Dodgers had won 6 straight against the Angels, where it was once dominated by the Angels as far as a 15-game lead in the overall head-to-head. It's down to 4 now.
Yeah, I love it. I love it when Angels bring this stuff up, right? Angel fans bring this stuff up because I enjoy. Listen, you guys could be 100-0 against us. I don't care. Mm-hmm. October 1st, your season ends. We still get to play.
Okay.
So
okay. Well, see, the thing is, I still recognize the 2002 World Series as being the last World Series in Anaheim/California. You know why? Because usually when you win a World Series,
62 games. Here we go.
When you win a World Series, you usually get a parade. I don't remember you guys getting a parade.
Listen, the government wouldn't let them have it. We were all sitting in our rooms because we did something wrong, apparently, by the government. Leave us alone.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't remember it happening, to be honest with you.
Hey, we should have had 2017.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. We should have had 2005.
That's
2005. I'm still upset at Josh Paul to this day, and AJ Brzezinski.
So then, if we're going to do this, then we'll talk about how many series have you won since Mike Trout has been an Angel in the playoffs?
There's been nothing.
No.
I'm the first one to say it. I mean, I believe that those years after Disney sold the team after the World Series,
right,
Artie rolled the coattails of that
Yep.
till basically he had penny pinched the scouting and everything else, and then his guys started coming through the system instead of Disney's. And then you saw the big drop off, which 14 was out of nowhere. You know what I mean? That wasn't exactly planned. So
yeah. So let me ask you this: disappointed or okay with it when Artie decided not to sell the team?
Oh, devastated!
Okay.
Devastated. We actually had planned a party. And no, I'm serious. We planned a party because we felt that this was going to be the beginning of something new. I mean, we heard about the LA Times owner. We heard about the Golden State ownership. Yeah. We heard about
A-Rod.
Yep. We heard about Theo Epstein.
Yep.
And Billy Bean. So I was like, hey, man, bring them on. I don't care what it sells for. Let's do it.
Yep. And now you're going to get this guy.
Yeah, he has unfinished business.
Unfinished. I mean, this guy knew Thomas Jefferson, and he owns your team, right? I mean, at some point, this is going to be done.
Well, let me. I mean, you brought it up on the last on your show about the parking lot owner. Imagine if he would have been like McCourt was like out of nowhere, like, yeah, I'm selling the team, the divorce thing. Oh no, wait, I'm not. I mean, that's how it felt like us.
No, you got a point. Okay, so years ago when blogs were a thing, when they first come out, right? Mm-hmm. A buddy of mine writes a blog, and he got invited into a suite. There was 20 bloggers, and then they can all invite a couple of friends. Well, McCourt owned the team, and he showed up, and we could ask him anything we wanted. And I gotta be honest with you, I don't remember a lot of what I asked him. I remember asking Tommy sort of questions, but I remember thinking, here's the guy that made money by charging people to park their cars. He has no clue what he's doing in baseball.
Yeah.
And literally, as I said that, I looked in the outfield. Matt Kemp overruns a ground ball, goes past him. The guy goes to third. Kemp throws it into the third base dugout, and I'm like, there you go. Yeah. I mean, perfect timing to think the thing and see it in there. Anyways,
You had a parking lot owner. We have a billboard owner.
Hey, listen. So what are we doing then? What are we doing wrong?
Well,
I guess we gotta start. Let's give billboards or parking lots.
We missed our calling a long time ago, apparently.
Hey, let's just buy a vacant lot out here. Oh, unfortunately, in Southern California, a vacant lot's going to cost you $2 million. But let's just put something to park on it, right? I mean,
that's the way you do it. I mean, look, we had a curveball like you guys did. Fortunately, you guys got an ownership in there where, they went out there and made great signings, or had Magic Johnson as their face piece. They got the general manager from Tampa.
Yep.
They did a lot of good things, and with us, it's gone backwards. I mean, I love Perry Manassian. He's drafted well, but I think he's being held in check, and we thought with a new owner, Ohtani was going to go like that, because with a new owner, they're going to want to save their assets, and he's a moneymaker in by itself. So now, with that being said, and Artie staying, I'm as good as thinking, hey, he's gone. He's walking.
So, Yeah, and did it say something to you at the beginning of the season or right before the season started that they didn't have any Ohtani giveaways after the trade deadline?
No, because I know they're going to pile up those as we go along. Like, one thing I'm very jealous of the Dodgers is, and I'll admit this, you go to Dodger Stadium and they have 3 bobbleheads of former players. So they're teaching the young kids, hey, this is Steve Garvey, or this is Fernando Valenzuela. You know, you're learning the history. We just have a real crappy montage that we play at every game. Really don't say the players. It's always Trout and Ohtani, Trout and Ohtani, Trout and Ohtani. We got Neto, we got rising stars on this team. They never showcase them. Dodgers do. And their PR is fantastic.
Listen, Fletch is great. I've always liked that guy. I mean, a little off this season, but I always liked him. I loved, you know, when David Eckstein was playing.
Yeah.
I thought he was a great player. But you're right. Nobody is saying an insert, you know, player here is coming to town, and the Angels are coming to town. It's Trout and Ohtani are coming to town.
Yeah, that's it.
And so, in certain senses, that works for those other players because they don't have the pressure on them. In a lot of senses, though, it doesn't work. Because, again, look at San Diego. Nobody's saying Jake Cronenworth or Kim are coming to town. Yet those guys are playing very well, and they're sneaky good, right? They're saying, you know, that Juan Soto or any of those guys, right? Manny Machado, Tatis, Darvish are coming to town, right? So there's a little bit of that, so I respect that because people usually don't look at beyond Trout and Ohtani. I thought you guys made a mistake getting rid of Duck Dynasty last year. Get rid of
yeah. Well, the funny thing was, it was bad coaching. As soon as he goes to Philly, the hitting instructor's like, "Let me work on you."
Yeah,
and it worked. You know, he turns into like a 5-tool player.
Listen, when I saw him tune it up last year, and then when he was playing the World Series, I don't know Mike, I don't know Shohei, but I'm sure they're looking at it going, "Hey, I'm glad our teammate's playing, but man, we wish we still had him."
Oh yeah,
he tuned it up.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
and I think it was a fair trade for us in the long run because we got Ohapi, but Ohapi gets hurt. You know what I mean? So it's like
Ohapi though. As soon as I saw him get hurt, I was watching that game, and then I was watching the game in Boston where they actually had to pull him out because he hurt himself in New York first,
swinging. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he ended up coming out in Boston. I think it was the first game. I was watching that. I got to tell you, that kid's going to be good. Once you guys figure that out, he's going to be really, really good.
Yeah, him and Neto are the future.
Yeah.
You know, the team.
And you guys do have some bright stars there, and I say this all the time, right? And it's good for baseball. When every team's good, it's good for baseball, right? But in no disrespect, because Top Fan covers all 30 teams. But if you had a Rockies versus a Twins World Series outside of Minneapolis and outside of Denver, who's watching that?
Oh yeah, you'd have to have extreme superstars for both, and if not, if they're just well-played teams that went through a regular season and they were your blue collar, yeah, no one's going to watch it.
Now, when you're talking Angels, you're talking SoCal, so it's good for baseball when they're good. I actually picked you guys in a podcast that I did with a group of people. I picked you guys to win the West this year. I mean, I think Texas is playing a little ahead of themselves. And then Houston losing Yordan Alvarez for 4 weeks. And you guys have picked it up. So I still do think you have a shot for it. The question is how beat up is your pitching staff going to be to get there? Tyler Anderson hasn't performed yet this season like you want. You guys got him from us thinking this guy's going to be lights out. He was lights out last season.
Yeah.
And then he goes back to being Tyler Anderson. And
because one thing, I mean, look, the Dodgers have always had this, you know, with I was always jealous of them too for having Rich Honeycutt for all those years. Honeycutt was an amazing pitching coach, and now you got Mark Pryor, and he works well with the young kids too, and that's a pitcher's ballpark on top of it. So yeah, I knew I wasn't going to get the Tyler Anderson 2.35 ERA.
Yep.
But if we got something low 4s, maybe high 3s, I'd take it and be like, that's a good move. Yeah. But I think we spent too much on it.
You probably did. I got to tell you, that was one move that I wasn't happy about. Because to me, and this is again blasphemous if you're a Dodger fan, I think that Urias is going to demand, because of Scott Boras, he's going to demand an awful lot of cash this year. Okay, which is fine, but show me what he's done this season, right? And again, it's everybody's talking about Juan Soto. Look at his first 2 years in the league, and then look at everything else, right? And Cody Bellinger, look at his first 2 seasons, and then that MVP year, and then look at everything else. And so I was mad when we got rid of Tyler Anderson because I thought there was something there.
Yeah.
I thought there was something there.
And usually lefties do really good in Dodger Stadium, that's just, I don't know what it is, but I've seen a lot of reclamation projects go there and they turn their careers around. So,
So do you think that's and this is an honest question. I mean, I grew up here in Orange County. I've been to probably 300 games in my lifetime at Anaheim Stadium, maybe more, right? We're probably close to the same age. Back when I was in high school, they used to have travel days on Wednesday, but you can get in the get in the stadium for $1. I don't know if you remember that. So we'd all go up and buy tickets in high school at upper level, and then we'd come down, work our way down. By the end of the game, we're sitting behind the dugout. Is it a mentality thing? Do you think that are the Angels okay with that, or is it? I mean, because you have the extreme in the Yankees. If you don't win, you're fired type thing. Steinbrenner started that, and it's still going. Dodgers aren't that extreme, but do you think it's a mentality thing? What do you think it is that needs to change?
Ownership first, accountability second.
Okay, that one you can change.
And front office, yeah. I think a lot of it has to do too with like you brought up a great point. Media, the Dodgers media holds players accountable. Like the year was a couple years ago when Kershaw gave up that home run in relief. Kershaw was front and center, taking a barrage of freaking questions that were difficult. Yep. We get softball questions to our players. Like literally, they're never asked anything difficult. And they're not held accountable. So when Nevin makes a dumb move, it's just like, well, what did you think about the jumbotron and that new feature with the rally monkeys? What? Like, you're not hitting home. You're not holding these guys accountable. They're going to keep doing the same stuff they've been doing. That's actually holding back the team. Like, they have the talent to win this year. I think the coaching's been holding back.
The Rangers are here to stay for the next 3 to 5 years.
Yes, correct.
Houston is probably that same. Probably. I'm not saying that it is, but it's probably that same era because they still have enough younger guys on the team. And Baker. Yeah. So that, like you say, you're gonna have to hold them accountable. Now over in Houston, you got Jeremy Pena.
Superstar.
Yeah, and you don't even have to. People don't recognize it, but he is that good.
Yeah.
He is that good, and and it doesn't hurt that he goes off season and takes a picture of him in the water, no shirt on, and every woman on Instagram is like tagging it. Look at my husband. Right?
Yeah, I knew he was going to be a stud last year when he had his coming out party at Anaheim. I mean, he single-handedly crushed us.
Yeah. So. Well, he hit the home run when they were interviewing his parents.
Yes.
And that's a cool moment, right?
Yeah,
that's a pretty cool
cool
baseball thing. So you got to, absolutely. No, I like it when the Dodgers and Angels play. The history there, the Freeway Series, growing up as a kid when it didn't matter, it was the last 3 games before the season started. That was awesome, but I like it now. I like what you guys are doing from a perspective of trying to get younger. I just don't know if you're going to keep Ohtani, and so much is being built around Shohei, and so, I mean, I'm not picking on you. I'm just
no. It's facts. It's facts. Like for me, like when I look at the Dodgers, I think, man, they've had a good decade to 12 years of consistent winning baseball. And I'm envious of that as a fan because I would have loved for us to be like when our 2002 to 2010 run. I would have loved for that to be matching what you guys were doing, and continuing that because it's right. It's good to have 2 good teams. Like when the Yankees and Mets are good at the same time, it's awesome. And I think the Dodgers have, like, this is the first year in a while that they're struggling. Like usually you guys just walk into the postseason because nobody in the division really gives you guys any grief. Yeah. And for the first time, the Padres are supposed to be that team, but all of a sudden you got this young, hungry Diamondbacks team, which I thought they would have fallen off by now. And that's a team that it could be there at the end as far as the division. And it's at least you're getting challenged by them in San Francisco.
So I'll say this kind of as a comment, and mark my words on this. The Dodgers and Angels are going to struggle in the future unless ... Okay? Cincinnati, Arizona, Baltimore, Toronto, Oakland, even Oakland, as
Vegas.
bad as they are right now. Yeah, Oakland/Vegas, as bad as they are now. To a certain extent, Seattle, but most of these teams are playing the game 20 years ago. They're doing the little ball and they're moving, and the Dodgers are always looking for the 5-run home run. The Angels are relying on Shohei or Mike to hit that 5-run home run. And guess what, guys? Aaron Judge had 62 home runs last year in 500 at bats. It's not going to happen every time you're up. And so, but look at Corbin Carroll. The Diamondbacks are a perfect example. Corbin Carroll is running, he's getting on base, he's making things happen. And if you're terrible at holding base runners on, which the Angels and the Dodgers both struggle on that, Corbin Carroll gets a base hit, he's on third before the second batter is even out. And so watch Pittsburgh, watch these teams that are getting younger, as we're sitting there going, well, we got Mookie Betts and we got Freddie Freeman, or you guys are, we got Trout, we got Ohtani. You're going to have to start moving those wheels.
Oh, I agree. It all comes down to fundamentals. When I do the post-game show, I'm always screaming because we get 2 men on, nobody out, and the guys are swinging for the fences. It's like, what happened to the bunt? What happened to swinging the other way? What happened to hit and run? We don't do that. And like you said, it's a perfect point. You brought it up. Those teams are going to be the consistent winners. We're going to be the dinosaurs looking, in the background, because you got to change with the game. The game gave you more opportunities this year to steal bases. The shift is gone, so that you don't have to worry about hitting the other way. And we have not taken advantage of that. I don't know as much about the Dodgers, but maybe they're the same way.
So here's kind of that statement on that. So here's how this plays out. You guys have Shohei or Mike batting number 2, Shohei batting number 3.
Hate it.
Okay. So now just let's assume for a second your number 9 batter gets on. He walks. Your number 1 batter is up. You got Shohei, you got Mike, right? Like you said, if you lay down a bunt and you sacrifice, now you got second and third, right? You got second and third, or if you got 2 on, nobody out, and you got second and third with Shohei, or 2 on and 1 out with Shohei and Mike up, somebody's going to get a hit.
Yeah, they're going to knock in something.
They're not going to ground into a double play or anything like that. So I wish you would see more of that, but we don't play that game anymore. And it's frustrating to me. We talk about it. We do a Saturday show called Around the Diamond, and part of what we do on that show is every week we show the statistics for home runs, and we show the statistics for stolen bases. And we're going to set a major league record ever in stolen bases this year. And Oakland has the leading guy, right? And all the teams on the top 5, top 6, they're all competitive teams except for Oakland. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny too. The Royals have a guy. I think he has like 18 stolen bases.
Yeah.
And he has more stolen bases than we do as a team.
Yeah. Well, and you look at a team like the Braves, right? The Braves are trying their best to stay young, and they are. But Acuna's got 31 stolen bases already. They're 32, something like that. So it's you live and you learn. The game's getting quicker. We need to be better at doing that. Both of our teams need to be better.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's where we're struggling. So, yeah.
And because I don't know how much time we have left here, but real quick, the recap on the Dodgers series.
Yep.
On the other one, I said if you would have told me giving up 4 runs to a Dodger team, but then I noticed that I didn't realize how many injuries you guys have, how many guys you were putting in there, and I didn't know how bad the bullpen was. So our broadcast was saying, "Oh man, just get to that bullpen. You'll have fun with them." Yeah. and so it's like, okay, I thought we had you guys on the ropes. That was a fantastic play at home. Yep. I still think he was safe, but we had second and third, nobody out. That lost us a game, and of course, you guys come up clutch.
Right, and so you guys were playing golf. We were playing baseball. Lowest score wins, right? So you guys were playing golf. We were playing baseball, but
we're so used to playing golf.
Listen, well, in October, but listen, and I know we're out of time, but the thing, everybody that told you that was right. For the last 4 weeks, our bullpen has been horrific. Like, I'm about ready to call the Dodger organization and say, I haven't pitched competitively in 25 years, but give me the cleats, let me do it. I'll give it. I can't do any worse than these guys. And so normally I would say that would be the case. Shohei got dealt a bag of goods yesterday because he pitched so well, and the offense just didn't come up.
If ever there's a game where you were to ask Shohei, hey, what happened to what made you leave the Angels?
Yeah.
Boom, that game.
Yep. Well, I still insist about that in Chicago, right? I mean, this guy keeps 9 strikeouts, 10 strikeouts, 13 strikeouts, no decision.
Yeah.
This guy is just getting his bacon handed to him, but yeah. Hey, I appreciate you letting me be on your show like this. This is great.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime you want to come on, like we like chopping up baseball, and we obviously we're an Angels podcast, but we used to have a Around the League show. We're trying to get that going again, and we would just talk, the big topics in the sports, but or Major League Baseball.
Yep.
But thanks, Bill.
For coming
Absolutely.
on. We'll do this again, brother.
Oh, sorry. Shake your hands.
All right, there we go.
All right. Catch you later.
Yep.